Case intake note. Recovered from the first archive pass. The first frame shows an empty room with the night nurse pager waiting on the table and a fresh chair pulled back. The timestamp clicks forward in a room where every clock has been unplugged. The witness lowers their hand before anyone tells them what the evidence is. The first question is not what happened, it is why the night nurse pager evidence already knows the witness. The safe explanation is a witness misreading the tag. For almost 1 minute, that explanation works. Then the room remembers the witness before the witness enters, and the room stops feeling like a place people can leave. Someone has to choose whether to trust their memory or the object in front of them. Someone laughs once, too quietly, then asks to leave without looking away. The archive can keep its labels. The story belongs to the person who realizes the night nurse pager evidence has started answering them personally. A light flickers once, then holds steady, as if someone has warned it. The next contradiction is not bigger, it is closer. The second playback removes the safest explanation. Now the witness has to decide whether the evidence is a warning, a lure, or a rehearsal. The pager is not early. The room is rehearsing the witness before letting them enter. The opening no longer looks like the first scene. It looks like the moment the room chose who would remember it. The final intake sheet lists another arrival that has not happened yet. The room goes quiet only after someone says the wrong name. The file ends because the archive runs out of procedure, not because the witness runs out of fear. When the pager returns, the room has learned the witness's next move. The second witness is listed as present tomorrow. The witness changes their story after touching nothing. The recording catches a breath that does not belong to anyone on the log. That is the moment the evidence becomes intimate. A harmless detail becomes impossible to ignore. The evidence looks ordinary at first, night nurse. The first person in the room forgets a name they had just written down. The file has found the person it wants. The final ordinary sound is not a scream. It is the pager, repeated once, after everyone agrees the room is empty. The clue turns into consequence when the pager returns. A private memory becomes physical evidence in front of strangers. The evidence waits in plain view while the witness invents reasons not to look at it. Every explanation asks one person to give up a piece of what they remember. When the pager returns, radio bleed from another room almost holds, then the witness transcript quotes a sentence nobody has spoken yet. A small detail turns personal when the pager answers back. The danger is not death, it is being edited out of your own account. The last sound is a voice practicing the witness's answer. A reflection arrives half a second before the person casting it. The witness notices the pattern too late. A staffer pockets the key, then cannot remember which door it opens. The personal cost lands in a practical gesture. A credential removed, a door avoided, a name crossed out twice. A hand stays above the table, a name is avoided, and one breath arrives too late. The room pressures the witness before anyone understands what noticed them first. The choice lands before the mechanism becomes clear. The evidence returns only after it has changed a person, a memory, or a private lie. Each added detail makes the witness less certain they arrived after the event began. The pager stops being information and starts sounding like a demand. The final tag is signed in handwriting the witness has not learned yet. The next proof is not louder. The witness repeats the wrong date and starts crying before they understand why. The clue starts to feel less like evidence and more like a selection. The case changes shape when the clean recording keeps the damage and loses the voice. The cost is small enough to deny and personal enough to ruin them. The archive can record the moment, but it cannot make it harmless. The room narrows around the witness. The nearest person steps back like the evidence has recognized them. The witness realizes the room knows which lie they were about to tell. A rational explanation almost survives. A corrupted export from an older case. Then the corrected copy changes first, and someone in the room has to abandon the safest answer. The room does not become louder, it becomes more personal. Battery failure fails because the witness transcript quotes a sentence nobody has spoken yet. One more practical detail changes what the witness can trust. The evidence stays ordinary enough to touch, and that is why touching it feels like answering. The next proof belongs to a person, not a file. The horror keeps shrinking until it fits inside one remembered detail. The evidence stops matching itself and starts matching the witness. A second silence arrives after the room should be safe. A witness misreading the tag almost explains it. Then the second witness is listed as present tomorrow. Keep the camera on the person who tries not to react. The pager makes the room feel chosen instead of observed. The archive can seal evidence, but it cannot seal what the witness remembers next. The safest explanation breaks in a human place. A hand stops, a name disappears, and the pager waits in plain view. No one in the locked evidence room where the first witness sees the object says the fear out loud. Radio bleed from another room still sounds useful, until the room remembers the witness before the witness enters. The room gives the witness one more chance to deny it. Then, the pager answers with the detail they were hiding. What hurts is how ordinary the evidence remains. Dust shifts across the table before the door opens. The witness understands that touching it would feel like agreement. The file can call it a discrepancy, but the witness has already changed. The recording ends with the table waiting for another hand. By the final pass, the evidence is not louder, it is closer. The witness transcript quotes a sentence nobody has spoken yet. Stay with the witness after the obvious explanation fails. The air has the flat, wet smell of a room after power has been off too long. Radio bleed from another room fails because the room remembers the witness before the witness enters. The room goes quiet only after someone says the wrong name. The corrected copy changes first. A second silence arrives after the room should be safe. Battery failure almost explains it. Then the last sound is a voice practicing the witness's answer. A witness misreading the tag still sounds useful, until the second playback removes the safest explanation. The room gives the witness one more chance to deny it. The pager stays ordinary enough to touch, and that is why touching it feels like answering. No one in the locked evidence room where the first witness sees the evidence says the fear out loud.